It had been an amazing day for Shakti, who had recently passed his graduation and successfully cracked an interview in one of the leading international business process outsourcing centers of the country. He had a young mind full of creativity. Tonight would be the first night when his training period starts off. To top it, he would be getting a stipend for the duration of 3 weeks of training. He was thrilled as this would be his first earning. The first night, Shakti was all geared up and waited for the office cab, boarded it at 12:30 a.m. and reached his new office. The training was to start off from 1:30 a.m. There was some time before the training started. He took this opportunity to meet his new colleagues, most of whom were fresh graduates. The training started at the decided time, and slowly all the members got engrossed in the same. The process for which they were hired was of an online service provider in the US. The training continued for a couple of weeks, and the members were focused on interpersonal need of affection. There were a few questions which were subconsciously running in the minds of the group members.
Do I fit in this group?
Who are the others in the group, and do I want to be with them?
Who would like to befriend me?
With the common behaviors of some people talking excessively, there were others who withdrew and kept quiet during the discussions. Out of the group, Shakti could become good friends with Amit, Hridesh, Ruchir, and Monisha. They gelled quite well, and they had similar learning patterns as well as interests. After a couple of weeks were through, the time for floor interaction had arrived. On the next day, their lead facilitator welcomed a floor manager, Nikhil Gupta, who was to address the participants with regards to the floor etiquettes and the basic processes. He seemed to be a smart gentleman in his mid-30s and had a command over the topics. He started out by asking for a brief introduction. He said,
"What is said about training in this job is that this is the honeymoon period that one has. You can enjoy this time and take all the learnings that you can get. Once you reach the floor, it will..."
Nikhil, it would be great if you can share some details about the floor etiquettes first.
Shakti felt awkward that Nikhil is such a nice man. Why did the lead facilitator not allow him to complete a sentence? After all, it was he who had been training us to wait till the other person finishes his or her sentence. Nikhil then started out informing us about the floor etiquettes, which will become the rules for us once we reach the floor. The time adherence, not helping others as the supervisors have been appointed for it, avoiding abusive language, and a few other basics. Next, he moved on to the key performance indicators like average handle time, average hold time, first time resolution or FTR, customer satisfaction or CSAT, etc. All the while he was talking, he had his eyes reaching out in an uncomfortable manner towards the Bengali beauty, Monisha Ganguly. Though not many had noticed it, Monisha had felt uncomfortable and had shared the same with Shakti once Nikhil left the room. During the break, the gang of five got together, but the thought about Nikhil's uncomfortable look was rubbish by all, and the things moved on. The remaining period of training passed by with Nikhil being called up by the lead facilitator to the training session for small periods. Finally, the nights for the assessments had arrived. The assessment was to be conducted by the lead facilitator in sync with the voice and accent facilitator and the floor manager, Nikhil. Almost all the participants were feeling stressed as to what will happen if they are unable to pass the assessment. The day, or as you may say, night, began with the online test regarding the processes, call flows, and call logging. Once the assessment was through, they were to sit in different rooms, make and receive mock calls with both the voice and accent facilitator as well as the floor manager, Nikhil. The mock calls were moving fine, except for a couple of participants who were asked to work on the mother tongue influence or MTIs in their tone of voice. The last call was of Monisha. She went in the other room to initiate the call. Nikhil followed her and wished her good luck before she initiated the call.
All the best, Monisha.
Shakti and Ruchir were observing this.
Did you see that, Shakti? Why were we not wished good luck?
I feel you get some extra benefits being a girl, Shakti said, and both giggled. Monisha's call went off all right, though the voice and accent facilitator had her reservations as Monisha had a bit of Bengali MTI in her speech. Nikhil had a discussion with the voice and accent facilitator, and finally, some score was put on the sheet and the results were closed. In the breakfast break, after the assessment was over, there was a discussion around how each one had fared. Monisha almost was in tears. She felt she had lost the battle. Shakti, Ruchir, Amit, and Hridiyesh, along with others, pepped her up and said that the result would be good. She should not worry. And so it happened. In the results, almost all except the 2 cases of MTIs were through and were ready to hit the floor from next week. The first week shift that Shakti, Amit, and Monisha were assigned was from 5:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m., who were in the same team. Ruchir and Hridiyesh had joined another team, and their shift was from 1:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. They had different team leaders and different rosters. The 3 friends started understanding and making inroads in the new team that they were a part of. The calling started from day 1, and everybody understood the statement that Nikhil had stated earlier about training being the honeymoon period. It also dawned to them that the verbiage that Nikhil usually uses on the floor is quite unprofessional, which would have been used by him during his first statement, the reason why the lead facilitator had stopped him.
Why the fuck are you guys not getting the CSAT scores?
It was in total contradiction to his first session, where he had emphasized on avoiding use of abusive language on the floor. He was someone who used it at the drop of a hat.
Can't you get me some water, asshole?
A couple of months had gone by, and it was time for the quarterly rewards and recognition ceremony. In this event, Monisha was eyeing the Best Debutante award and had been putting in extra effort to bag the award. Shakti was not that ambitious, and Amit's numbers were not even near the minimum benchmark. From other teams also, there were 3 to 4 contenders. However, on that wonderful evening, the award was handed over to Monisha. She was thrilled, and she hugged Shakti with joy when she returned from the stage after receiving the award. Shakti's face turned red. He had not expected that she would do such a thing, though even Shakti had started liking her. In the floor meeting next day, it was announced that the team with the most awards will be going to a party along with the floor manager. It turned out that the team of which Monisha, Shakti, and Amit were a part of had won most of the awards. The next day, Saturday, which was the rostered off for the team went to a 5-star hotel. The company-sponsored evening with access to discotheque and drinks on the house was a fabulous opportunity to enjoy. The team reached the hotel and Monisha reached the dance floor. After all, dancing was one of her passions. Some of the team members followed suit and joined her. The team was enjoying the evening. Shakti was sitting on a bar stool having soft drinks and Amit was enjoying his scotch. Monisha saw them and came up to them. She was feeling on top of the world due to her first corporate success and she asked them to join in.
Shakti, come here. Join me in the celebration.
Even before Shakti could have responded, Monisha grabbed his hand and pulled him towards the dance floor. They danced together for some time. It was just about time for dinner when Nikhil also joined in. All the team members wished Nikhil and he also joined them in the dance. Shakti, who was in full sweat, excused himself and moved back to the sofa. He was observant about Nikhil dancing close to Monisha. In fact, too close for Monisha to be comfortable. Monisha also tried to excuse herself from the dance floor while Nikhil grabbed her hand and pulled her back. Shakti was getting uncomfortable. This continued for another 15-20 minutes, and then it was decided that they should move for having dinner. The seating arrangement in the hotel was in groups of 6, and there were overall 14 people. Everyone started taking seats when Nikhil said,
Folks, enjoy the time. It's all on the company. And congratulations to all of you.
Thanks, Nikhil, all the team members said.
You can sit in 2 sets while I will be sitting there with the best debutante. There is something I have to discuss around her performance.
Nikhil pointed to another table a little away from the other 2 sets. There were eyebrows which got raised. However, Nikhil was the floor manager. Nobody could gather the guts to say anything. All of them settled and started having dinner. Shakti, however, was trying to keep his ear towards the discussion that Nikhil and Monisha were having, with his eyes still towards the other team members.
What happened next? What went wrong? Was the culprit brought to justice? To know answers to these, keep glued in to this channel for part 2 of the story, releasing on 28th March. Thank you for watching the video, part 1 of Narrow Escape, a story from Corporate Anecdotes, a collection of short stories by Neelesh Kapoor. Like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel. To get a copy of this book, follow the link given in the video description below. Thank you for watching.